Okay, hey YouTube. So I am doing Zatima season 3, and that is episode 20. And let me just go back for you real quick. Episode 19 of last season, Zach's mom, Miss Gladys, she was, asking Zach for some money. And Zach wouldn't give her any money. And the reason why Zach wouldn't give her any money is because of her past with narcotics. And she never would use the money for what she asked for. And he finds out that she was using it for narcotics. And he said that he's not going to ever get her any more money. So then she went to his brother, Jeremiah. And Jeremiah is the same way as her. And I want to say, if I remember in the first season and second season, Jeremiah was doing narcotics, but just not as hard as Miss Gladys was. And let's just say they both were, it was a mother-son duo, and they both were taking narcotics and just high out their mind. So Zach found out, and when Zach won that, well, not won, it was like the lottery, and then when he got that money from Sisters, if you remember, if you watch Sisters, he got a big payout of the money, and he won millions and millions of dollars. So that's how he has the nice paid for house, and that's how him and Fatima are able to live comfortably. And of course, Fatima didn't quit her job. She still is at the law firm, and she still is a paralegal. And Zach proposed to her in the midst of that. And then they had their whirlwind of issues that from in season 1 of Zatima, in season 2 of Zatima. And they were having issues back in Sisters. So I always used to say, are they gonna ever, get to the point to where they'll be good? So they're good for right now. So going to Miss Connie, and they were in the projects, and her and Jeremiah, they were talking and all that. And Miss Gladys has passed on. And of course, Zach is upset, and he feels like it's his fault. And he said if he would have just given her the money, then maybe she would still be alive. And I said, when someone has an addiction like that, you never can tell. So going back from, just want y'all to know exactly what was going on from the last season. So she passed on, and then she has insurance money. And that, I don't think that Zach knew. If Zach knew, he definitely didn't tell Fatima, because Fatima at the very beginning was looking over the insurance, and she didn't know that he had insurance. And then Connie came in after she was at, well, I skipped over a whole part. But Zatima came out of the bathroom at their house. Fatima came out of the bathroom at their house. And, Zach, he was just, canoodling and wanted to rub her stomach and just wanted to see, if he had time to. And Fatima just said that she has to go. And she has an important meeting that she has to get to. So she went to her office. And when she got to her office, then Connie came in her office, and Connie propositioned her and told her that Miss Gladys has money and she has a life insurance policy. So since she has a life insurance policy, then she said that she's going to be able to get a whole lot of money. And Connie don't know about a whole lot of money. So she just was trying to, proposition, Fatima to, do her dirty work and get it off her hands, because she don't want to have to deal with Zach's brother. And she knows that he is far gone and he wants money. And so she just turned everything to Fatima, asked Fatima would she do it since she's a paralegal. And Fatima is nice. So she said that she'll do it. And then that was their scene. And then they quickly panned to Zach and then his neighbor, I think Deja, that's her name, Deja. And his neighbor Deja, and she was acting like she couldn't take the groceries out of her car. And she probably couldn't. And then she saw Preston walking up. And when Preston started walking up, then she really was putting it on thick. And she just turned around. And then he said, he was just looking at her and she was looking at him. And then she started flirting with him. And she was talking about he looked nice. He has on nice boots. And asking, what do he do? I said, gold digger. Everybody know that she's a gold digger. Daisha. So she flirted with Preston and all of that. And then, Preston is a little green. If y'all remember him and Danny in Sisters. He's a little green. So he was just looking and he didn't see, he didn't know what she was giving and he didn't know what she was putting down. And she was telling him that he looks nice. And then she said, but I gotta go. And then she was still flirting. And by that time, Fatima had came out the house. And Fatima had said, hi. She said, hi, Deja. And then by the time Deja had said, oh, shoot. And then she was running in the house then. And then Fatima was asking, is everything okay? And then Preston was saying that he came over to see if Zach is okay because he heard that his mom had passed. And he said he wanted to be support for Zach. And Fatima said, well, it's okay. You can go ahead and go in. He'll be happy to hear from you. And so when he got in the house, then Zach, of course, came down and he said, what's up? And they was just talking. And he was just explaining, the situation and how that Bryce stole $1.5 million from him and did a bad business deal and didn't even tell him about it. And by that time, Preston had said, well, he can help. And then Zach was just going on and just was saying, but he took my money and I'm, I said, Zach, please. So Preston didn't get a word in. And then by that time, they was on their way to Zach's office. And by the time Zach came to his office, then by that time, Bryce was coming in. And Zach ain't got over the fact that Bryce stole that money from him, $1.5 million. And Bryce was supposed to, episode 19 of season 2, he was supposed to ask his dad if he could give him the $1.5 million. And him asking his daddy didn't go through because he told Zach on this episode that he couldn't get the money. He couldn't get the $1.5 million. And his daddy didn't have it. And he said, well, he'll find it. He'll figure out how he can get it. And then by that time, Zach was upset. And Zach that was about to come to blows. Zach and Bryce was going to come to blows. And then by that time, Preston had stepped in the middle. And then Preston said, well, I can give it to you, Zach. And then Zach finally got over it. And he just took the help. And then they panned out. And then once they panned out, Fatima was leaving the office for the day. And she was walking to her car in the garage. And then by that time, Jeremiah, Connie had said that it was some money that their mama had. And he was looking for the money. And he just knew Connie had told him that Fatima had the money. And by that time, he was enraged and he was saying that he need the money. He said he need the money. He don't care what she say. He need the money. It's his money. He said it's his money. And Fatima was saying that I don't have your money. I don't even have any money. And then by that time, he was enraged and he was pulling on the purse. And she was trying to keep the purse. And then by that time, he was pulling on the purse so hard that she fell down to the ground. And she fell down on her stomach. And then it went off. I said, I hope she gonna be okay. I hope the baby is gonna be okay. But it just went off, and then it just panned to the next episode. And as soon as the basketball game goes off, not gonna be nothing but another quarter left. Then I will go ahead and watch the second episode, and then I will get the second and the third episode out the way so I can put both of them together. But this has been fun enjoying the show, so I hope y'all like it, and I'm about to go ahead and put up my thumbnail for the video. So love y'all, YouTube, and 2 more videos are coming soon.